Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Sam, or Chaotic, and welcome back to another GTA 5 video here on my channel. Now in today's video, I'm going to be discussing the next Grand Theft Auto title in the series, GTA 6, and how the next game will be influenced by the release of the next generation of platform, the PlayStation 5, and whatever's going to replace the Xbox One. For now, we'll refer to it as the Xbox II, but presumably it'll be named something else. Now, although there's still been no official announcement from Sony or Xbox regarding the next generation of platforms to replace their current generation, or any information from Rockstar Games regarding the next GTA game in the series, there have been plenty of leaks and rumours in the last few weeks and months regarding all of these. Approximately a month ago, there was a major GTA 6 leak which revealed a load of details about the next GTA game. Of course, at the time, I made a video on this. If you guys haven't watched that already, I would definitely recommend doing so. But supposedly, an inside source over at Rockstar Games shared a few details with the gaming news company The Know, making claims that GTA 6 is in early stages of development. It's being referred to internally at Rockstar as Project Americas. The game will feature two main cities or locations, those being Miami, also known as Vice City, and areas of South America. There will supposedly also be the first female lead role character or protagonist in this game as well, and a release is expected around 2022. So if this leak is correct, we're certainly a few years away yet from this being released, 4 years in fact, and by then it's very likely we'll see the next generation of gaming console being released by both Sony and Microsoft. In fact, we may see the release of the next generation of gaming consoles pretty soon, according to leaks and rumours that took place a few weeks back. A leak was made a few weeks ago that Sony had already sent out the PlayStation 5 dev kits to third-party developers earlier this year. This leak came from the source Marcus Sellers, who this year has already made some pretty big leaks, such as revealing that Black Ops 4 would be this year's Call of Duty, that Diablo 3 would be ported to the Nintendo Switch, and a few other things as well. Now, if this leak is correct, basically what this means is that Sony are preparing to release their next generation of console very soon, and of course making sure that gaming developers who want to release games on this platform are ready for its launch. But it is worth noting that as of right now, this is nothing more than just a leak. No one has confirmed this just yet, but the source is pretty reputable. But either way, correct or not, I wouldn't go expecting there to be any form of announcement or confirmation for a while, because a 2018 rollout for this new platform is very unlikely. In fact, the more likely scenario is that this PlayStation 5 dev kit is an early hardware prototype. It most likely isn't the final version or edition of the console, but it's been sent out to developers to of course begin working on games with releases in the next year or two, which means a 2019 or 2020 launch is the most likely scenario. Now, it may not feel that long ago that the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 was released, but do bear in mind both of those were released back in November of 2013, over 4.5 years ago. And the PlayStation 4 was only released 7 years after the initial release of the PlayStation 3, which was released in November of 2006. Now, the Xbox One was released 8 years after the Xbox 360, which was also released in the month of November, but in the year of 2005. So on the basis we'll see a similar gap between releases, 2019 and 2020 are certainly pretty close and line up to that. In my opinion, I think it's more likely that both companies will focus on trying to release something sooner rather than later, with late 2019 being my choice, which means both get released before the new decade, which I can assure you guys, if this is the case, will be used in some way, shape or form in marketing. But either way, in regards to GTA 6, if the next generation of platform is released this soon, it means that GTA 6 will most likely be released directly onto this next generation of platform, and could potentially mean there won't even be a version released on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 at all, especially if this generation of platform have already been out for 2 or 3 years. Now, at the moment, as unlikely and crazy as this may seem, especially with it being so far away, it is worth bearing in mind that there are still a few years between now and the release of both the next generation of platform and GTA 6. But simply based upon the available information, this doesn't seem too far-fetched. And do bear in mind, even if GTA 6 becomes a next-generation platform exclusive, just consider what hardware improvements and upgrades there'll be with consoles like the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox 2. I can guarantee you guys the next generation of platforms will have better processing power with better graphical capabilities, which of course means the games can be bigger and better, with even better 4K graphics and visual enhancements. In fact, in case you guys didn't know, when Rockstar was making GTA 5, of course they were developing it for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and they had a load of console issues and limitations. The map was going to be bigger, but because of the hardware limitations with those consoles, they had to make the map smaller. And that's why we no longer see updates and new content being implemented into those platforms, and haven't for a while now, because those consoles simply cannot handle it. But Rockstar, of course, re-released the game on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and then the PC. And there were some huge improvements with the release of the game on those platforms, physically and visually. And of course, if it wasn't for the release of the current generation of platform, the game would have stopped receiving content updates a long time ago. So I wouldn't be too surprised at this point, whilst developing GTA 6, if Rockstar only focus on releasing it to the next generation gaming consoles. But I guess it'll all come down to when both Microsoft and Sony plan on releasing the next generation of gaming consoles. If the release of GTA 6 and the release of these new consoles are very similar, then we may see a release onto the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 before the release onto the PlayStation 5 and Xbox 2, just as we did with GTA 5. The game was initially released in September of 2013, whereas the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 were released in November, just 2 months later. But this of course meant that Rockstar could re-release the game then on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 the following year, which of course increased their sales, and is one of the reasons why GTA 5 has 90 million total copies sold worldwide since launch. And who knows, maybe Rockstar plan on doing something very similar with GTA 6, or whatever the next GTA title is going to be. It certainly makes sense from a business point of view, but I guess it'll all come down to whether Rockstar want to try and make the biggest and best game possible, and hope it sells just as well by going for that approach instead. Anyway, but with that being said, that's pretty much it then for this video, but I of course want to hear your thoughts and feelings on this matter. If the PlayStation 5 dev kits have already been sent out, when do you think Sony and Microsoft will release the next generation of gaming consoles? And what do you think Rockstar will do in terms of releasing GTA 6? When will they release it, and what platforms will they release it on? So go ahead and leave a comment right now. If you guys could also drop a like on this video, it would of course be greatly appreciated, and it helps me out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do, because I upload all the latest and the greatest Grand Theft Auto 5 content. So as always guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.